Okay, so 11 to 16. Leave your environment in which you grew up for at least 12 months. When I was 21, I moved out to the CBD. 21 years old, freshly 21, like I was 20 just two or so months prior, just turned 21. And initially it was completely against my parents' wishes. And I didn't leave the house and take $500 that I had left over and go, no, like it was tactical, I planned it all out. I still went broke doing it, but they didn't actually want to do it initially. But I grew so much when I did move out, especially being so young. I moved out at the beginning of my 20s. I am so proud of myself for doing that, because now at 25, I genuinely feel like I have so much more of a grip on life. And I'm saying that with a touch of naivety as well, right? But relative to my peers, I feel like my grip on life is so much more firm. My ability to deal with rent, deal with a roommate, deal with cooking my own food and cleaning everything and doing my own clothes for years. I was living in the city, away from the family for 2 years, so doing that taught me a lot. And truth be told, the only reason why I actually didn't end up moving back to the west of Melbourne was because of I guess a discrepancy, for lack of better words, with a roommate. But me and the roommate still cool. The ex-roommate, were cool with each other, but there was certain situation that you'll know about that I felt was a kind of definitive line that was crossed. But I matured so much. I have so many more stories as a result of it, and I was able to grow. Prior to moving out to the city, I don't even think I in a whole year made maybe 50 or even 60K. But by the time I was 22 in the city, I was making at least 100K a year. And it's funny, it's because I had to pay for rent. I had to make more money to afford the lifestyle inflation that I bestowed upon myself. So there's just so many benefits to it. You're around more people that are different than you, and different than the high school you went to and the primary school you went to, and different from the university you went to. Adults, I remember going into the elevator and seeing some crazy people and seeing some normal people. I got so many stories just from the elevator, let alone living in the city, which is hard mode. I think moving out is one thing, moving away from your environment to another country, another state, etc. But if you go into a city, whether it's in your own town or overseas or in a different state, a city is seems to be more chaotic than like a suburb that you're moving to in a different location. So that's one thing. Change your environment and stay there for at least 12 months. You learn a lot about yourself and your mental resilience. Now the other thing is this, the next one is be kind to people, but understand that not everyone is your friend. And I'm not saying be like, oh, it's hard to be friends with me. Not that type of guy. It's more like, to give someone the title of friend, I think is a lost art. I think a lot of people do it too loosely. I think there's acquaintances, and I think there's, people that or that you associate with. But if I'm calling you a friend, that means that if I'm not in the room, you can say, oh yeah, Dami's my friend, me and him are cool. I don't want to give that cosign to everybody. That's an expensive cosign. And I don't say that to be dramatic. I say that to be intentional, because it's like, if they say they're my friend to other people, well, all their traits and their character and their flaws and their benefits, they can now draw to me. So if they're always negative and they're like, oh, Dami's my friend, Dami's a negative person too. You get what I'm saying? So that's something that I've again realized to varying extents, and which is why even the businesses I associate with these days, I try to keep it quite clean and nothing messy. Very simple, very orderly. Women I've maybe dated or seen in the past, 95% of the time, even if things are ended or put on pause, it's a very amicable ending. And I ensure that it is. Because I also understand I'm 25. By the time I'm 30, 35, who knows? People could try to say bad things that are untrue. So you just want to make sure, even with male friendships, I make sure, look, if I disagree with a guy, I'm never one to really unnecessarily yell or anything like that. There are times to yell, by the way, I will say that, but it's amicable. Just, hey man, this is where I stand. I respect if we have an indifference to each other at this stage. Let's put that to the side for a second, if that's okay. I try to be quite diplomatic. but I don't try to be friends with everybody. I actually don't even try to be friends with everybody. No, I don't think that's necessary. I don't think it's even healthy. Now, the next thing is this. Those that you do call friends, vet them. Vet them hard. Especially the friends that you see frequently. Because if I see somebody frequently, I am likely going to adopt their traits, certain speaking patterns, the way they think, the topics. So I don't want to just adopt any traits. I'm super intentional about the people that I frequent, because I'm like, I'm going to adopt your way of thinking soon if I'm not careful. And I think very big. If you're not thinking really big, and I'm seeing you twice a week, once a week, even once a fortnight or once a month, I get like nervous, because I'm like, oh, I don't want that to rub off on me. And that doesn't mean that you now drastically heavily cut off the kind people that are good. Maybe you don't think that big. I'm not saying cut them off. I'm just saying perhaps see them less. And even that in a sense of itself can be a bit cruel, but it's honest. Again, I didn't come out the womb with like most of my friends being most of my close friends at least, being extremely high performers in their own regards, whether it's comedians, whether it's sports people, whether it's 25, 26, 24, 27-year-old, 28-year-old multi-millionaires. A lot of them are high performers. A lot of what I've achieved is nothing compared to them in some senses, right? And I love that. So for me, it even keeps me on my toes. Now, not all of it's about financial or status. A lot of it is about character. So things that you have to often vet are the character. I've been in situations where I thought someone was a friend, but I had a suspicion about their character, and their lack of character was confirmed. And I distanced myself from them. Now I'm a lot more ruthless with it. Like if I see that you have weak character, bro, I'll unfollow you on Instagram. Unless we can maybe do business together, then I might not unfollow you. I'll just stop hanging out with but like if I see it, and the thing is, I might not even say it. You don't have to be outlandish with it. You don't have to be like, you have bad character, get away from. Nah. Hey bro, okay, cool. Hey, I'll leave you to it. Have a good one, bro. Let's hang out. Hey bro, hit me up. Hit me up later on, but right now I'm just really locked in, focusing on my own stuff. But we can keep in touch. And that's all you have to do. Like, keep it player, keep it cool, don't overdo it. But I definitely, if I think your character is really poor, oh my days, I don't want to be associated with that in the slightest. Because if that's how obvious your character is in public, I can only imagine how it might be to your family, to your friends, to your wife, to your girlfriend, behind closed doors. I don't want to be associated with any potential skeletons. Okay? Right? So that's me. And I've had to do that for even business partners that I work with. So I might be in business with someone 1-2 years, and then I realize, ooh, bad character alert. It's cool. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna, if I'm already in business with them and the business is performing, it's a healthy business. Obviously I would have wished that I would have known much earlier rather than later, but if the business is healthy operationally, etc., then of course in that situation I'm not going to be spending excessive time hanging out with them. It's just they do their role, I do my role. Someone said this, at times you can work with parts of people. I agree to an extent. I don't do that now, but if there's certain ventures that I've been involved within for a couple of years and things are firm and it will affect things too drastically, if I was to be like, then that's another thing. But to be honest, I see myself by the time I'm 26, 27, probably exiting businesses where I actually think that the character of someone might not even be that poor. It just might not be up to my standard, right? For example, I have friends of mine, not friends, lol. I know people that might be comfortable hooking up with a friend's ex-girlfriend because they're not dating, and they just ask the friend, hey bro, do you mind if I hang out with your ex? And the friend might resent them, but they'll say yes to maintain frame. Now, in the person's defense, the person that asked, they asked and they got permission. So so they actually are in a sense no fault. But again, for me, if any person that is even an acquaintance of mine asked me, I would leave them on scene and unfollow them. I wouldn't even answer the question. And I wouldn't even, to be honest, and maybe this is me holding frame here, it wouldn't even be me trying to demonstrate anger or superiority. It's just simply, or to try and hide that the one might be upset. It's just simply that just gave information and intel into the character of somebody, right? So it's just more about character when it comes to these friendships of yours. So anyone that you frequently see, you must vet them so hard, especially if they're your close friend, because you will be associated with them for their highs and their lows, and you will pick up on a lot of their traits as well. So those are a few things that are crucial, guys. Let me know if you agree. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm telling the truth. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong on something, and share it with a friend, see what they think as well.